What's up YouTube, this is Slaan here again from Northern Lan, and this is part 3 of the custom Cityblock series. In this episode we're going to go back and look at two of the old surface layers from the previous set that I released and look at how they've been incorporated into the new system and what little changes there is in it. So what we're looking at is the old station. As you can see, I've just copied the platform and sort of little ticket machines and stuff to both sides now. The old city block had a little had an entrance on one side, sorry, that came down a little bit shorter and tuned off to the sides here. And what would happen is, especially with the combo pack, some prefabs when they spawned in these particular lots would have walls that would block the entrance off. So I've decided, because I don't have so much space beneath the surface, since we've squashed all the sewers and the subway levels into 25 layers, I didn't actually have room, or there's very little room, as you can see, to sort of play with the little tunnels that we had underneath. So since I've removed them, I've actually been able to just have the more natural looking stairwell, which will connect straight from the roads. As you can see there, it'll be a lot easier to get up, and it takes up a little bit more of the space and looks, I wouldn't say much better, but yeah, it's definitely nicer having that extra height there. Now the good old billboard trussing is being stashed on the roofs, and this should stop everything from collapsing up here, because now we've got 2 blocks of material. So even though the structural integrity over these areas in the centre, in particular where the subway tunnels and stuff like that are quite prone to collapse, I think actually if we jump on here, well, that's alright as well. The buildings might still suffer a little bit from the collapsing, but I'm not too worried about that at the moment. So before we dive underneath and look at the changes into the sewer and the subway level for this particular tile, we'll just nip over to this part here. And as you can see, here's the an old favourite of mine, just the plain old track section with the subway card on. Right, it's been doubled up to look more like a train for this one. Not a lot of changes on the surface for this one at all. Again, I've been attacking this little structure with the billboard trussing to stop things collapsing. So I don't mind a little bit. I mean, this is supposed to be run down, and you know, with all the broken brick blocks that we've got and stuff like that, I don't mind a little bit of collapsing. It feels a little bit more natural, it's a little bit more dynamic when you're running around the city, little traps, little booby traps so to speak, and it adds to the immersion, I suppose, because like I say, it's not supposed to be some pristine city that we're looking at. It's a run-down, post-apocalyptic, absolute shipwreck. So the collapsing isn't too bad, but there will be the odd block. Things like these might drop down when you stand on them, but that's nothing too serious. But on both the station tile and this one, we have the good old vault hatches, which will take us down into the sewer levels. I do believe there's 3 of these on the road, yeah. And I've replaced the ones on the path areas as well. So it's all looking a lot nicer, a lot tidier, but there's not a lot of real new stuff going on these layers at all. So if we go back to the station tile, and I will, if we do it from the road, I suppose, if I put my head through just to get my bearings, and I've come onto the wrong side. Right, if I come from this way, as you can see there, this is what I was actually trying to find, and these are the tunnels that'll take you down into the old upper sewer layer. This particular tile has 2 separate entrances downwards, and just like I had mentioned with the old, in the last video, with the access to the sewer from the surface, rather than do it north-south or east and west, I've mixed it up a little bit, and I've done 2 sides, but again a little bit more random, just to shake things up a bit. So hopefully as the tiles start connecting, you can see there's another entrance there, there's one there. It's just going to mix and match things a little bit better. It's going to be a lot more random when you get onto these layers. But other than the tunnels, there's not a huge amount, the ramps, sorry, there's not a huge amount of changes into these sort of layers. The real magic starts to happen when we get down to the water level. So this is Is this the station tile? Yeah, this is the station tile, and I'll just work out what side we're on here. So the east and west sides of the station tile, that had the big red station on, sorry, both have these. So you can see when they connect together, we'll get quite an open space. If I get my bearings a bit better, right, if we go west to the opposite side of this tile, and you'll see where it's connected to the track tile that there is no dugout on that side, and you'll get like the little half section instead of the full room, like this. So as you can see, it works regardless of what it connects to, and like I keep repeating myself, but it just makes things look a little bit more random. So when we get to the corner sections, are we on the tracks? Yep, so this is the tracks tile with the green train on, and two of the corners, simple modifications. The pipes mean that you'll have to crouch underneath them or jump into the water and get a little bit wet. If you're getting chased by zombies, and as I keep mentioning, I will look more into getting the anti-spawners down here and making the area a little bit more dangerous. It's just little obstacles. You know, you might run in there, get stuck and panic and not realise that you can get underneath, or try run round instead, or I don't know, little obstacles for you to hide behind with your sniper rifle to pick people off. Whatever floats your boat, I suppose. Now I only done 2 corners on the track section, but the station has, I think, all 4 corners modified to some degree. Or maybe it's the track section that I've done that, I'm not sure. I'll have to have a little look around. But I mean, we're on the outside edge here, but it'll start to paint a better picture of what I mean. Now, I'm actually working on a way to incorporate the old subway station, and I've decided to alter the design a little bit, so that's what I'm working on at the moment. And I think when that's ready, what I'll do in the next video is incorporate some buildings and maybe all 4 or 5 of the tiles that I've got ready at that point all together, and do a bit more of a tour, so to speak, just to show you where the project's at and how things are going with what I've finished already. But like I say, the corner sections I'm trying to spice up a little bit. I'll make more little alcoves in the walls perhaps on some of the other tiles. I'm trying to stick massively to the idea that I'll change one thing in every layer, and so far it's working out alright. And even the simple things like these little rooms or sections here, like I say, have quite a good effect at breaking the place up, and it's not going to be so easy just to run around and think, ah, there's the control room, I know I've got to go this way, because depending on what it's sitting next to, the whole layout of the tunnels, in particular the ramps that give you easy access between the layers, are going to be quite dramatically changed. So I suppose if I do a little tour from the bottom, this main sort of tunnel which sits on the border of 2 tiles, there's no way to access any of the other layers without entering the old sort of system, which, as you can see here, this is the corner of the old sewer network, so the ladders and ramps are still there. So from here you have the choice of going up into the old upper sewer level. I'll have to start calling this now the lower pipe tunnel, or I'll figure out some kind of naming system so that you can follow us a bit more easy, because I'm just making half this up as I go along. But as you can see from here, we'll have quite a few options for travelling around, back into the centre of the tile, to ladders that go directly to the surface, or enter into the subway system. We can enter this sort of tunnel system itself and now access the upper layer through various tunnels depending on where you are and what tiles are connected to. And like I say, once there's 5 or 6 of these tiles connected together, the ramps are going to be quite sporadic and appear all over the place. So I'm hoping you'll spend a little bit of time running around looking for these places and ways to get in, ways to get out. I cannot wait for the first lot of people to start driving the mini bikes down here and, you know, realising, oh damn, how do I get my mini bike back out? I cannot wait to be on the other end of that and be running through the sewer system to find an out of fuel mini bike where somebody's drove in and they've gotten lost and have had to go in search of more gasoline before they can come and drive the thing back out again. But once you get into this layer here, then all these little pillars in the middle will take you to the manholes on the road. So, like I say, in the next video we're going to look at the subway station, and I'll for the mixer itself, I'll add all the buildings back to the city. I'll maybe download the latest combo pack and start working with some of those prefabs, and we can start to get a better picture of how the city's going to look with the new city blocks, with things like the combo pack running. 5 blocks isn't really a huge amount of variety so far, but it's looking like we're probably going to get about 7 or 8. It depends, really. It depends how things go. There's a lot of things I can reuse, and I'm getting quite handy in Hal's editor at copy and pasting within the editor itself and borrowing ideas from different city blocks. So for example, things like the little corner rooms in the sewers that I was showing you, it's not much work now for us to make a new tile and copy a few of those things into different places to keep mixing the random stuff up, but try and keep that dynamic sort of spawning. You know what I mean. So without further ado, I'm going to cut short now, and thank you for everybody who's watching, and don't forget to please like, comment or subscribe. As usual, the feedback is really important at this stage. The tiles themselves are still largely under development, and there's a lot of things I can come back to and change if people don't like what they're saying, or if people have some particular ideas that I might have missed. I can incorporate stuff very easily at this stage. As for things like the superhighway that Stallion's Den's done, it might be something that I'll look at once the tiles themselves are finished, but first and foremost I need to set the foundation for the sewer and the subway system. So that's why I haven't extended things like the train tracks and that out, because it requires a lot more thought on how you're going to do the tiles and lay them out. And once you start deciding to make a system like this fully connected, it has to start being included on every tile, or every tile has to start making allowances for that system being there throughout the whole city. So like I say, for now I'm going to focus on just getting a set similar to what we've had before, with the better underground system running through it, and then we'll start looking maybe as a separate set into things like the highway and stuff like that. I don't want to rush these sorts of things. They work a lot better when you put a bit of thought and planning into it, and I'll see where Stallion gets with the highway and things like that before I start looking at it, because there'll be a lot of ideas that can be directly transferred over. There might be a few things I want to change. Hopefully there'll not be much, but we'll see what happens when we get to that stage. So for now, this is Slaan from Northern Land signing out, and I hope to see you next time.